don't you just give us an update on how the week's been going since we last saw you on Sunday?
Well, it is a great day to be alive, right on cue with Travis Tritt right there. Great intro. But it's been great. Been an awesome week. Appreciate all the help of everyone that worked so hard to make it a great week. We just kind of show up and things are ready and we go to practice and all that stuff. But I know there's a lot of volunteers that really make it a seamless week for us. And then we had some weather, so we had to go over and practice at Arizona State one day, and that worked out perfect. So it's been a good week. The guys are excited. I got a chance to spend a little time last night with the Ohio State staff and Coach Day, and really enjoyed that. I had a lot of opportunity to be around Coach Day, and just a genuine guy, and enjoyed dinner last night. So it's been good. We're healthy. Everybody's excited about playing, and looking forward to a great night Saturday night. It's going to be a heck of a ball game. Two great teams that I think really are kind of mirror images of each other in a lot of ways, and probably come down to a few plays.
Great. Thanks, Coach. We're going to open it up for questions here. We do have mic runners. Olivia's here to my right and Sarah's to my left. So if you please raise your hand, we'll call on you. And then if you could just please identify yourself by name and outlet for Coach, that'd be helpful. So we'll start with Dennis over there on the left.
Hi, Dennis Scott, CBS Sports Digital. I wonder if you have someone that just tracks roster management, how it's guys being able to leave after 4 games to retain their eligibility, they can leave after 3 transfer portal. Has that changed on your staff? You said one person track that?
Hang on. Come back in with that one more time.
Someone on the staff that just tracks roster management.
Oh, me. You're looking at him. I'm your roster management guy. Pretty much starts and ends with me. And that's it.
How hard is that now that guys can retain a year after playing 4 games? And
it really hasn't been that much of a challenge for us at this point. I'm sure, maybe if I was somewhere else or at a different stage in our journey at Clemson, maybe it would be more challenging. But it really hasn't been that big a deal for us at this point. And we don't sign grad transfers, so I don't recruit the portal yet. There may come a day, I have to reserve the right to change my mind if I have no idea. I may have 20 guys pack up and leave one day, but have not recruited the portal. And, the guys that we have had transfer, the great majority of them are graduates. And, I think, again, when you graduate, it just creates more options for you. And if that's something that they want to do, I've always supported that. I don't always agree with it, but I always support that and wish them well. And then we've only had the one issue with Kelly on the 4-game thing. So really just haven't had much experience with it, and really has not been a distraction for us.
Okay. I'm going to go over here to this side.
Clemson Sports Community. A lot of folks talk about the skill positions in this game, but the big to us, we look at the offensive line, defensive line matchup here, especially the matchup between Jackson Harmon and Jay Sean. What would you say to Jackson when you talk to him about that matchup?
It's must-see TV. Their DL is special. They look like our guys last year. And not just that they have, some superstar type guys, but they have depth. They got a lot of guys. Listen, they take that number 2 out, and Levin comes in. He's pretty good. There's not a lot of drop-off. That guy's really good, twitchy, and same thing in their D tackle when they bring 67 in there. They're just deep, and they're experienced. They can get pressure on the quarterback. They have been able to get pressure on the quarterback without having to bring pressure. They don't blitz very much. They're probably the least blitz team we've seen all year, but they haven't had to because of their skill and talent up front. So it's must-see TV because we're pretty good in the offensive line. They get a lot of sacks. We don't give up many. They get a lot of tackles for loss. We don't give up many. So it's a great matchup. It's the way a game like this should be. Our strength is our offensive line. Their strength is their defensive line, And everybody gets kind of enamored with the quarterbacks and the wideouts and those DBs and all that stuff and these great backs, but that'll be quite a battle right there to watch all night long. And hopefully we're going to lose some of them, but hopefully we can win a lot more than we lose throughout the night. But it's going to be a huge challenge. But our guys are excited. I mean, you want to play the best, and Jackson and Tremaine are excited about the challenge.
Greg? On your left, Coach.
Greg Moore, Arizona Republic USA Today Network. Good to see you.
Two.
So obviously, this is not your first time here. It's not your first time playing this other program. I'm curious how much the last game has factored into your preparation, how much has it been discussed, how much are the players aware of it?
Yeah, it has zero to do. 2016, the college rosters turn over pretty quick. 3 years is a lifetime in college football. So, nobody's been here with the exception of our fourth-year juniors, like Isaiah Simmons, be a fourth-year junior, and then our true seniors. So that's the only guy. The rest of the roster has not been here, and they have no experience playing Ohio State, so they weren't a part of that. They were all in high school and not a part of our program. So it's really has not been a factor at all. This is totally different teams and dynamics and those type of things. Certainly as a program, you draw from your experience and your history as just from a program standpoint. But from this roster, there's just not a lot of carryover from that game.
You're right in the middle, Coach.
You guys are in a period of unprecedented success in the program. What can you say to all the fans that no matter where you guys go in the country, will travel with you, will come and see you?
Well, just how much we appreciate our fan base. I mean, it's one of the things that makes Clemson special and unique is we have an unbelievably passionate fan base that show up. I mean, you come to any home game, people sometimes will say, "Hey, Coach, I want to catch a game," and "Oh, what's a good one?" And I always just pick one. They're all good, and our fans show up. It doesn't matter who we play. I mean, it's awesome whether we're playing UNC Charlotte or Florida State or whoever. It's always a great crowd, and then when we go on the road, same thing. Tremendous support. I know we'll have a good crowd out here. I know it's a long way, but they'll show up and make their presence known. Leave some $2 bills all over Arizona, I'm sure.
Stuart Mandel from The Athletic. Dabo, sometimes when you're describing the way people around the country view your program, you use that phrase, little old Clemson. I'm wondering, what are the origins of it? What exactly does it mean when you describe things that way, describe your program that way?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying that for a long time because we are little old Clemson. I mean, if you've been to Clemson, we only got about 14,000 people in our population there, and I don't know, about 20,000 students maybe. So it's probably the biggest stadium per capita in the country, for the city that it's in. It's just a little old Clemson. It's just a small town, small college atmosphere, but yet, you've got this 80+ thousand seat stadium and 150,000 people roll into the town on the weekends. It's incredible. But then they all leave, Monday through Friday, we kind of have our own world. And it's just we have one of everything, two of a few things. We got like a Starbucks, we got, a Walmart, a Publix, we have about one of everything. And so there's just a simplicity there and that's unique. I think there's a quality of life in Clemson that's really special. So we're just little old Clemson, and we've been that way for a long time. But it's something I used to talk to the team about all the time 11 years ago when I got the job was, hey, we're little old Clemson, but we got everything we need to compete at the highest level. And, we're going to build a big program, and we've been able to do that.
Look at our right-haired coach.
I got a Bill Rabinowitz with the Columbus Dispatch. Another question about Jackson Harmon.
Well, we got two. So I tell you, Matt Bockhorst is going to be, he's already a great player, but man, when John Simpson gets out of here, he's going to step in and fill that void pretty quickly. And that's a strong comment because John Simpson is an All-American player, but Bach is a great player in his own right. And so, you know, Robbie did a great job, first of all. I mean, we try to reach out to the top guys in the country. And as our brand has grown, we get a lot of reciprocation, you know, these days, you know. And a lot of times early on you reach out to guys and they'll be like, Clemson, where's that? You know, or no, I'm not interested or whatever, and you just move on. But now our footprint and our brand has allowed us to get a lot of reciprocation from a lot of these players. And Jackson was a guy early on that was like, yeah, I'm interested in Clemson. I'd like to go see it. So his coach brought him down, and Coach Krause brought him down, and was a great visit, just the first visit and meeting, and so he was just always interested, and we were just always in his schools. If I remember correctly, I think it was us and maybe Ohio State and Southern Cal, I think were his three schools. And so I didn't know he was coming until signing day, the morning of signing day. He called and said, hey, I'm coming to Clemson. And so he's a very unique kid if you get to know him, very dynamic person. I mean, he's unbelievably talented, has lots of interests. He's this massive man, but he can sing, he can play the guitar. I mean, he can surf. It's unbelievable what he can do. And I just think he was attracted, but he also had his dad had lived in South Carolina at a stage, so there were some ties there, and you know, in the end, I think he just felt comfortable with our program. But he's a great player. He was a first-year starter, played a lot last year, backing up Mitch Hyatt, but a first-year starter, and I think as good as we've ever had, and has the potential to be really, really special.
Go right here.
Got his hands full Saturday, though.
Hi, Coach. Christian Bonney, I know you guys don't have anybody in the roster currently from Arizona, and I've been recruiting the West Coast pretty hard the last couple of years. How do games like this in 2016 kind of refocus your recruiting efforts and whether or not you're going to invest a lot of resources in the state of Arizona in the future? Yeah,
and you know, we don't invest a lot of resources, you know, so to speak, just like coming to Arizona. We just go wherever. You know, there's no real set place, but we talk about building the inside out, and you know, we're going to recruit Georgia and North Carolina and South Carolina and Tennessee, Virginia, Maryland, Florida, Alabama. You know, that's kind of our area, if you will. And but what has happened is, you know, I mean, like we just signed, you know, a pretty good quarterback out of California, and we weren't recruiting him. And his coach tells the story. You know, I think he had a million offers as a sophomore or something like that, but the coach Negro was talking to him about, you know, hey, is there a school out there that you like that maybe's not? And he was like, yeah, Clemson. You know, and you think about it, I mean, you know, he's 16 at that point. Well, the last 9 years, he's grown up watching little old Clemson, and so we get a lot of that where these kids have grown up watching us and they're interested. And so his coach actually reached out to us, and of course Streeter looks at him and like, wow, yeah, he's pretty good. So we don't really just like go say, all right, let's go recruit all of California or Arizona or whatever. But we do track who we think are the best players and reach out. But what has happened is a lot of these kids have reciprocated. So we signed Joseph Ngata out of Sacramento area last year. So back-to-back years we've signed a kid from California for the first time in the history of our school. And so it's not about just going and getting guys. It's still for us about the right fit and, you know, just fitting our program, the core values of our program, the expectations, the value of education, those type of things. And it's been pretty cool to be able to see our reach grow. So yeah, I mean, I mean, we'll come to Arizona. We'll go to Alaska. We got a young man coming from Canada this year. So super excited about that.
Great. Thank you very much. We invite the media to come up now and speak with Dabo from the stage. And media, you may begin your interviews with the student athletes.